Hey, this is Ross Moore with The Verge, and we are hanging out with Cliff Bleszinski at South by Southwest. He just got off the Oculus Rift panel. So actually what I want to ask you is, what was your first experience with Oculus? How did you get introduced to the headset?
Okay, so I know Brendan Naribi, who's the biz guy over there, because he worked at Gaikai, and of course he worked with Scaleform, which is the UI system that Epic and everybody in the industry used. He's a very smart businessman, and he has a tendency to find something good, latch onto it, and ride it up and just make it a big thing, which is what he did with those previous businesses. So he came to Epic, and he actually brought what was their first piecemeal version of it, which was so just like trashy rig. It was so sad. I walked into the room with Mark Rain, and I'm like, what is this thing? And it's like literally like, you know those old school theater glasses the little old ladies would have, right? Oh, this is a wonderful production of Phantom of the Opera, right? That's what it looked like. But you put it on and immediately you're like, oh, okay, I can see, you know, you ignore the fact that it's not attached to your head, the fact that the tracking's not that good. I'm like, I felt like I was just gazing into a different world right there, and I felt like I was there, like teleported in immediately, right? And that was when I was like, okay, this might have a lot of potential. And then when I saw the later versions of it is when it really started to click for me, and I was incredibly impressed with the setup.
What was your first reaction like to meeting Palmer Luckey?
He reminded me, he was kind of a halfway between myself and Tim Sweeney a little bit, you know, and I saw this like young budding designer who's doing it because he loves it, and I was like, wow, okay, we're gonna be seeing some great things from this kid in the next 20 years, and starting with this. And you know, it's the classic American dream. Everybody talks about, oh, the economy's not doing that well, you know, you can't really get a job, and here's the kid out of his own garage who put this thing together himself, and he should be an example for the youth of America. I don't know where that went.
Everything. So you just got off the panel and talk about like different genres that would work well. Obviously simulation, you actually mentioned simulation in some kind of weird fashionable way. What genres do you think specifically would work the best here? Would actually be better than ever before?
I think exploration genre. Okay. Right, and I'd alluded to like the Myst type game, and I believe Paul was mentioning that'd actually be kind of a lonely experience, which is a very good point. I think horror could be good, but I think the horror could actually be too intense for most people. Like I was saying, Slender Man is already scary on a monitor. Imagine if you turn around and Slender Man's right in your face. Like people would like throw the headset off and stomp on it in the ground. I think those are the kind of games you have to be patient with. I wonder if maybe some sort of fighting game experience could be very interesting. You know,
like some kind of first person.
Yeah, and you know, movement would be an issue, but in fighting games, you're basically just going like that, right? So if depending on how close you are and bobbing, but again, you'd have to be careful with physical fatigue. And so I think when it comes down to flow games, games such as flying games, driving games, or scuba diving-ish games, I think those could be very, very compelling, and I think those are the genres I think have the most potential.
Right. Obviously, you've had a lot of life changes this year. You're a huge investor in Oculus. Are you going to be developing for it, and what can we see from that?
Right now, my plans of what I'm working on are still way up in the air. I mean, my agent's talking to different people, and there's certainly parties that are interested, but right now I'm enjoying just getting up and pissing off the entire internet every day by blogging, so we'll see.
All right, Cliff, thank you so much.
Good seeing you.